All right, welcome back, guys. We are actually already in game number 3, so let's go ahead and jump in here as soon as possible because the draft is even developing. BMG versus MiTH Hybrid coming at you. This is it. This is it now. We got these two teams competing for, well, advancing on to the grand finals, of course, and that means a chance for not only a lot of freaking money, but title of world champion for Heroes of New Earth of 2015. Pretty big deal. Pretty big deal, man. So it's been a case of both teams having a fairly dominating game. I mean, MiTH was the first game. They looked great. We were worried about BMG. Second game, nothing to worry about. BMG very strong, and MiTH, on the other hand, not so strong. So drafting has a lot to do with it. And, well, we're already developed into the draft right here. Real quickly, the initial bans. Tremble, Warbeast, Flux, Sarasay, so they respond to the Flux right there. First pick, Doctor in a Behemoth, Pebbles in a Kinesis, and Galatius in a Puppet Master. But we are going to see a boxy Kinesis most likely.
Yeah, definitely. And I was thinking, though, they could have picked up the Kinesis in the last game, and I'm glad they picked up here as well. It's just something that is very, very dominant in the laning stage. So obviously they've got Behemoth here. This is going to be, obviously, Root of Z's Behemoth and Kinesis boxy. The one thing you need to know about BMG is that regardless of lane, they're very hero dependent. And that's why we saw Root of Z on the offlane, Behemoth and Devourer are boxy. Because, no offense, but obviously these players are so good at dependent on the heroes, not so much really on the roles. Obviously, but Boxy can play second support, Devourer, and he had a great game there as well. In terms of the draft here, they get first pick their Behemoth. Obviously, like Swindle said, 100% so far in the series. Probably the standout hero probably of the whole tournament. And they pick up Puppet Master as well. I like the Puppet Master pick because it's very, very useful against Dr. Repulsor before he picks up his Nullstone. Even when he has his Nullstone, he can still be very good at locking down if he's quick with like the Hellflower plus its other CC. So solid there. It looks like they've got very, very good lanes. The Puppet Master Behemoth lane is very, very deadly. I mean, it can be running as a dual lane, as a tri lane. It can really dominate. Same goes for Kinesis, obviously. The off-lane Kinesis can just do work on regardless of who he's against.
Yeah, happened to catch Boxy again in between the games right there, and he said that game was just so much better. Obviously, it was just better, but he loved the fact that he got to play Devo that game. And playing that playmaker, we were both agreeing that, if he's on a hero like that, it's good news. And again, this game being Kinesis, we've seen him do it many times before, so it's Boxy's, in a sense, their Mickey. If Boxy does well, then the team usually does well. So, very well. So, this fourth pick, they're putting a lot of thought into it. They will go with the Kraken in the end. With it, and this is looking just like a very sound lineup.
It is very stay-green, actually. Here. They've actually right-clicked the Ophelia as well, so I mean that's what Swindle was saying, but more so for BMG. I mean I don't think the HPX really plays a lot of junglers. I have seen them play Ophelia if they play anything, and I mean, they've got a very strong lineup in terms of team fight. But I mean I don't know how well practiced are they really running this? I mean, this looks just like a sync lineup or like a stay green lineup. They've got their two initiators, like the Pebbles would be like Mickey, Cracker would most likely be on like the Flens, or even say Kazu, for example. And then from there, though, they just take objectives, take team fights, and there's not much really the enemy team can do. But however, if they do pick up the Ophelia then, and one thing, I think this actually goes almost in favour of BMG. Like game one, they were relying on HBX to make the move. And because of that, HPX they didn't. They just sort of sat back and farm. Now with this game, it's kind of a similar draft. They've got great team defense, or great tower defense. They've got the Kinesis and the Behemoth. They're great at really stopping any kind of push here from HBX. And I think this might really play into BMG's hands. Honestly, they're very, very well versed at playing against Sync in terms of what they do. And I mean, I think they'd be more comfortable playing against this lineup and draft than another HBX draft or lineup. So
no, that's true. Yeah, it's because it's routine.
It's routine. Exactly. It's like Hauntor Season 3 all over again. So
the Moira pick, they were able to fourth pick a Moira. So the fact that it wasn't banned in the second tier bans against when you have a Doctor on your team, it's a little risky on the side of HBX, especially knowing that BMG loves playing Moira. So
yeah, I have to admit, if you go over the bans as well. We were talking about how HBX might have done their research, but to me it doesn't look like they've done enough. Like, they banned out the Devourer when Kinesis on the board. Like, we obviously know
that's reaction to last game.
But
Kinesis,
they're not picking up Devourer. They've got Behemoth and they've got Kinesis as well. Like, Kinesis obviously is going to be in Box's hands. So is Root of Z or Behemoth. Like, you just wasted a ban on Devourer there. Like, same goes to a couple of other picks as well. Like Cthulhu, they don't need to ban that. They get MiTH here as well. I mean, this draft is looking very, very solid from BMG. I mean, it's looking solid from both teams, but like with MiTH here, like they've got great counter push, and not only that, they've got great initiation with the Behemoth, with the Kinesis, with the MiTH. Like, all three get portal keys. When HPX group up together to take towers, it's going to be very, very dangerous to go high ground. That's very sure.
Yeah, it sure is. And here we go. Game number 3. Winner moves on to the grand finals. Loser drops to the third place match. A lot of money on the line here. Over $185,000 prize pool is what's coming at you. Look at that splice right there.
That looked really weird.
1%.
That was so funny.
That was
He
good.
was like, oh, that was
fun. Anyways, that was Balchazar, I believe. That was on the screen right there. Not sure who the who the HBX player was. Well, it's on the lower half there. All right, so here we go. Combinations average of 100% in 2 games. Okay. Wait, really?
Wow.
Really? So that's a stat. Like, how many games was that? Did he say? Like 44. I guess he's going off what they've done here, to be fair. So we only for the Southeast Asian teams, he only has stats from this event specifically. So not to look too much into that, but yeah. So making a point though, they haven't played these heroes at all this event. They've played now 6 games in total.
Glacius, you're
dead. There's no chance. Maybe? Yeah.
Nice block. Really nice block.
Easy kill. Oh, Bloodlust for BMG. Who gets it? It's going to be Balchazar on the carry. So there you go. Kind of see it through there. Anyway, so 1-0 start in favor of BMG. And, yeah, that's Glacius. Speaking of research, BMG does this all the time.
Yeah,
a lot of teams do this, to be fair, but and then they good luck, have fun go after.
Lol.
We just bloodlusted you. Good luck, have fun, by the way. Is that BM or not?
I think that's BM.
A little bit.
Like you get first blood and you say good luck, have fun. It's like
just a little
saying
bit of
GG after like you got first blood. But nice little thing that they've done here though. More they've done like the 5-man down bottom to secure the lane control free for Boxy. So what they do all the time, as long as Boxy has a good time, as well as obviously Balthazar, they're going to do fun. That's what they've done. They've actually blocked the pool cam, but not only that, given a nice aggressive ward here to really protect Boxy in the off lane. Not only that, I don't know if you saw, but you see down here where the ward is actually placed, Kinesis actually lifted up this tree, so it gives even more vision. The little tree, little mud spot here.
Oh yeah, the one that used to be there,
yeah. So Kinesis actually lift that one up, so it actually allows them to see a lot more vision as well.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that's definitely just a crafty thing. Why not? Use the ability, and not much mana cost and whatnot. So very smart idea there from Boxy, definitely. Who's surprised though, right? It is Boxy.
True.
Best player in the world. Is that ever going to get old? All right, anyways, he's in the suicide lane right here. He's going to have 3 players on him all of a sudden, though, and now he has the ward. So we saw this coming, but
he's dead.
Maybe he didn't see it soon enough. He's dead.
He's well dead.
He is very dead, and that's, you're just literally talking about the ward of sight that he plays for all that vision, yet he completely underestimated the potential there.
Yeah, he was just playing a little far up, unfortunately, and because of that, cost him his life.
That's big. Boxy, again, that's having him snowball, and he's not going to snowball his suicide Kinesis by any means, but usually. Yeah. But it's still dying this early on for a mistake that definitely could have not happened.
Yeah.
It could prove to be crucial, so we'll keep an eye on that. But middle lane, Pebbles versus MiTH happening.
But because of that, though, Glacius looks like he's just going to sit down bottom. And because of that, Pebbles is going to have a very, very tough lane 1v1. Obviously, he has been pulled regen. That's why his CS is quite decent at the moment, 207 GPM. But once his regen and it's completely gone, he's going to have a very, very tough time against this MiTH 1v1. Pebbles isn't very a good 1v1 hero anyway. And then when you're against a range, particularly against MiTH, you're going to have a lot of issues. So.
That's an interesting stat right there. Boxy apparently, for as much as he's played Kinesis, has never been against a tri-lane on record. And this is like a pseudo tri-lane, obviously, with the Ophelia in there. So very interesting, maybe throwing him off a little bit, not expecting that second hero for whatever reason to be as powerful as he was. But Ophelia takes care of business there. But was that just, did he just, hasted Ophelia, that makes more sense. Okay.
Couldn't do much against that, to be fair. And not only, but this ward here, it gives him kind of a lot of vision down below, but, the vision he's getting is kind of like
it's late.
Yeah, it's very, very late. Once he sees him, it's almost too late. If he's up here, if he's by the creep wave, it's almost too late. He's already going to die. So maybe the ward should be maybe behind the pool camp, for example, and then he would be able to see where the Ophelia is. You see where the ward is actually blocking the pool camp. It's obviously inside the tree, so it doesn't give it any kind of vision. If it was just behind these trees, he'd be able to see where the Ophelia is, and because of that, it's very hard to really stand up in lane without dying. Yeah,
vision obviously a key, especially when you are playing a suicide hero like this against the pseudo trial lane, and clearly it's not worked out for Boxy so far. So 0-2 here. Yeah, he's 8-0 against dual lanes, as Quincy was pointing out. So, again, very, very successful hero in the hands of Boxy, but so far 0-2, and it isn't often that he starts out like this. So, but enough focus on Boxy. As great of a player he is, there's other players in the game. We got Puppet Master at the top lane going up against what's been a Kraken, and I assume Baltazar has been having a fantastic time. 19-12, Kraken 3-0. So, yeah, that answers my question. He's having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, he's going against a good defensive trial lane though as well, but unfortunately, like Kraken, obviously with the escape mechanism, it's going to be a lot harder for him to actually kill the Kraken. Not only that, he can charge over the Behemoth Stun as well, so he's not really in danger of getting Fisher blocked off.
Yeah. Doctor, bottom lane, I assume he's also, of course, doing pretty well. Yeah, 17-9 right here. Not as well as Puppet Master so far, but still Yannicka's Kinesis, even though with the deaths, he is constantly pulling it back. And actually, again, Boxy in trouble again? I mean, no support. A solo Doctor Repulsor doesn't have ludicrous speed. Oh! Is it enough? Oh my gosh, so close. He will barely survive, though. Top lane, Kraken should be fine as well, but the fact that a solo Dr. Repulsor can outdo that much damage to Boxy, that's going to be scary for them.
Yeah, definitely, and like he's only level 2 at the moment, 4 minutes in, and this is not kind of the start he normally has. So like, normally he's kind of dictating the pace of the game down. He's very, very weak, so it's going to be hard for him to actually have any kind of snowball potential or any kind of playmaking. But they are slowly shutting down this Pelvis middle lane. As you can see, Pelvis is kind of staying off the lane at the moment. It's kind of scared to farm up. Glacius is here with him as well, so it does give at least Boxy in the bottom lane to give it a little bit more space for him.
Yeah, 354 GPM Doctor, but again, Puppet Master leading the way, 435 right now. Being played by Baltazar once again, so curious to see if he goes the Assassin Shroud over Whispering Helm first in this case. Figuring that he is getting some pretty good farm here to start early on, but definitely being active with the Assassin Shroud, of course, is very important too. So this is Baltazar goes first. Speaking of movement, they're going to try to flanker this bottom lane, but again, there is a ward of sight here, so Boxy has plenty of information that this is coming, just like before, and this time it looks like he is going to be fine. At least for the time being. Glacius running in the uphill and not necessarily scared himself though, because yeah, Kinesis is not even really has burst. Not gonna do a whole lot here. 10-10 on Puppet Master. So once he hits 450 GPM, that's where it really starts to go up there. You see right here, he's 425 GPM. You're almost there. Got 450 GPM point. Bottom lane, you got Moira roaming over. She does have her Ephemeral Forge with the Shards of Harkon, so potential to try to maybe make a kill happen. Again, Kinesis does have plenty of burst, so Glacius definitely could die here.
But Kinesis only level 3 though. Like, I don't think there's any way they threaten or even kill. Like if he wants to have an impact in this lane, like he should be sort of up in front, showing that he's here. Because then it's going to play, make Doctor and Glacius.
It could result in a counter kill too. Yeah, you need to be careful. In fact, here we go. Shards of Harkon comes out. It will put this on the Doctor, but you already see a lot of damage on Kinesis. Puts a stasis smash though. Ports are coming, and all of a sudden Doctor's in trouble. So the bait is real. The bait is enough. Yes, it is. Kinesis with a kill, and now Glacius also in trouble. So they baited them big time, and a double tap for Boxy. So hey, I know what you're saying.
Well,
but that worked out in the end.
No, it works out really. I didn't realize how much damage that Kinesis level 3 actually did.
Yeah, it's Kinesis, man.
I was not expecting that damage, so yeah, it's really nice play in the end. And now I actually, Box got both of those kills, so he's actually definitely back into the game now. So man, that works out a lot better than I expected, I have to admit.
Yep, so that's good news for BMG against someone on Boxy, but all of a sudden 2 kills and they're feeling pretty good once again out here. So the lead overall definitely slightly in favor.
That's a really, really nice rotation for Fusion as well. Like you rarely see supports make that kind of a rotation down to the off lane, especially on 6 minutes in, and that's when the supports are the strongest. So it's a nice play from Fusion there.
Absolutely. Dr. Repulsor, 300 gold saved up currently, is 328 GPM here as a Steam Boots, and looks like an Arcana is going to be in the works, so Ball going to be going for the Hellflower as far as a first item choice. And that's, there's always a question, maybe you want the Icon first, but in this case he feels like the Hellflower is just too good to pass up against the Subwar team. Moira, in the meantime, that is the real Moira, and she's in a little bit of trouble. However, the Shards of Harkon applied, and we'll keep her alive. You see MiTH also being nearby. Scares them off, so well played there by Moira. Pebbles we haven't really heard a lot from yet this game. And
he's best of I mean, he was 1v1 though against a MiTH, so you can understand.
Bottom lane, Doctor's dead.
How does this happen?
Boxy's back in it.
I don't know, man. But the Doctor's level 6. I don't know how you die 1v1 against. It's Boxy, man.
It's Boxy.
It's Boxy. That's a massive kill, though. They were dominating Kinesis down bottom, and then for him to get a solo kill on the Dr. Repulsor, like, This is huge, and this is why they pick up Kinesis, though. They use him to have a massive impact in lanes, and for him to get that kill is the reason why they do it. So BMG in a very, very solid position now. I mean, like, no one on their team is getting good farm, and you have to realise the strategy they're playing is off of momentum, off of Snowball. They're looking to take team fights, looking to take push, and if their lanes aren't going very well, they can't really execute that strategy because they're just going to lose the team fight.
Yeah. You know, and I got to call out, actually, Ophelia right here, PT He literally was sitting on 1,700 gold right there. Now he just finally bought stuff with it.
190 GPM as well. That's really low.
He's sitting on 1,700 gold at 8 minutes into the game when he has a minor totem in his inventory. I mean, you just can't do that. You need the stats, you need the regen.
Yeah.
It's just, you're slowing yourself down so much.
And like his 0-0-1, like he's 200 GPM. Like if you look at a lot of female players like Slap, for example, like he's 260, 270, and he has a very, very high impact. Or even like Iceland Go-Go from Min. They are very, very aggressive, and they have good GPM. And this is the one almost fear I had for HBX. Are they comfortable in running this strategy? Yeah. They run a lot of hard carry. They run a lot of aggression, and this is a sync lineup. Like,
this is not them. Yeah.
This is sync all over, and I mean sync would be executing the strategy a lot better than them, and as a result, it's hurting them so far anyway.
Yeah, if you covered up the names, I would tell you, hey, the team that right now, Sync Esports, probably is playing this. Nope, it's MiTH Hybrid here. Again, especially with a Game 3 where everything's on the line in that sense, it's that much more crucial that you go with the comfort factors you're talking about. And
BMG have got
really
it
comfortable here.
You could tell exactly who's playing what just because of in terms of signature heroes. So.
Bottom lane, it looks like Ophelia is going to join them. Now, she did end up purchasing a Ring of Sorcery in full with that gold, so gets that. So, not going to push just yet, though. But again, even that's kind of a thing. You know, when we do see Zlap playing the Ophelia, you'll see just the timings. Ophelia gets the Ring of Sorcery, comes to the lane, and they push the tower with the Ballista, or the cannon, or whatever it may be. So this right here is still not really pushing, still undecided where exactly to go.
I have to admit, this ward here by the bottom river, by Fuse, it's just about to expire right now. By Congo, it just expired right now, but it spotted out at least 3 or 4 ganks. And I was talking, we don't get a lot of really praise to Fusen, but like his wards have been very, very solid throughout this whole tournament. Which gives them a lot of room to actually play more aggressive. And
yeah. Ophelia actually using her ultimate right there. I don't know if that was
just heal her creeps. Yeah, because minus to the combo, but one of those Kings still died anyway though.
That's pretty crucial. I mean, it's a fairly longer cooldown. If a big fight happens in the near future, we'll not have a big kill as a result of it.
He just seems very, very confident. 190 GPM on Ophelia, and it's like 10 minutes in. I have to admit, HBX, I don't think they should have run this strategy. They are not comfortable with it.
They're stuck with it now, so. Yeah. Got to make the best of what they got. And again, there's still plenty of game left for sure. Baltazar, though, he's kind of skewing that GPM chart as he's up there. 482 gold per minute. Look at this bottom lane, Kinesis. He has a fail to rise. He's going to be exposed in a second.
Put a ward sight down.
I believe, I mean, something.
Maybe they do see
You figure they would have jumped him if they actually did see him, to be honest.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, he's going to be hitting right there. So, playing it safe. Only has Moiro nearby, and they know that there's 3 heroes here, so it must be very safe. Top lane, Kraken will fall. Charge not nearly enough. That Voodoo Puppet came out, locking him in place with the Voodoo or the Puppet hold as well, and easy kill for Balthazar. So here we go, bottom lane. BMG, Kinesis again. He's in a great spot. Now the water side's here. Moira coming in, level 4. He's gonna come in with the Ephemeral Forge. There's the burst from Kinesis. The follow-up burst. He can't get it off though. Dr. Repulsor does get away, so that telekinetic lift not in time, or the more styles actually, the mass control not in time.
Yeah, it's just still really important that they defended that tower, although they didn't get anything in return. As long as you can stop the momentum, the snowball here from HBX, because that's the style of draft that they need to execute. If they're not taking towers, then they're not really, as we mentioned before, they're not really going for what they need to do.
12 minutes into the game right now. Baltazar from the Ancients. On top of everything else, 485 gold per minute. Again, just continues to rise to go to Whispering Helm first, as we talked about. But I'm sure the Assassin Shroud, as usual, will be the follow-up here. Okay, Doctor's going Grimoire, it looks like. And, you know, we talked about this the first game they did it. It wasn't their main carry, though.
No, it was Mr. Suns at the moment. One thing that is pretty quite important, though, is that with him going Grimoire, again, it doesn't seem to me that they don't know how to play the strategy. Like if you see whenever a single play this, their itemization is perfect.
Yeah.
And that'll be Flensmark's going Icon of Goddess because it gives him enough tankiness and a lot of presence in the team fight to be actually useful. Goes Grimoire, like he's gonna die instantly from a Puppet Master rotation.
Very, very greedy.
You simply can't do this. Like if they want to be taking towers, they want to be taking team fights, and first time Grimoire doesn't scream that you want to be taking team fights to me.
Very greedy build, and we'll see if it pays off for them. It definitely has potential to scale pretty damn well as the game picks up, of course. But yeah, it's not your health flower, it's not your icon, it's not your snowbally item, your big catch potential item. That is for sure for him. They do have a portal key, speaking of catch potential, on Mr. Suns now. That is a big chance. I don't think he might have been seen. I know he just got it, but I think he might have actually already been seen too. Oh, he drops it, so maybe not. Maybe he is gonna. He still hasn't shown it yet. But if you're a BMG, I mean, you figure by now there's a chance that he probably has it, to be fair.
Yeah, 30 minutes. It's a good farm as well. Like, he's been farming the jungle. Oh, Ophelia.
Right, here we go. They're going to run right into Ophelia. Stasis smash first. Shockwave follow-up. And with the creeps nearby, that's a dead Ophelia. That's, you know, Behemoth in essence is a counter to Ophelia for reasons like that. So
it's really important that they killed the creeps though as well, because it just makes Ophelia's life so much harder, because you have to pick up all those creeps, and then while you're picking up those creeps, you've got to like keep on farming, and it really slows down a minute if you kill the creep as well. Cause actually mid lane though, big save.
Beautiful stasis smash right there. It saves Puppet Master initially. Now Dr. Pulsar flies in, but he used all his mana right there. Mana Thunder comes out as well, and turns around with the food. Puppet Master's going to live. No, he will die when it's all said and done. And actually, a couple of kills happening. No, that's just the one kill. But Pebbles is still chasing with a double damage rune. Not going to be able to chase him in full out of Mana Curly himself. Midas, however, transmute. Yep, we'll get it off right here. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. Doesn't want to go too far. Obviously knows the support is nearby. So we'll stay in the 1-for-1 exchange. Puppet Master for a, what's that, a Glacius? Yeah, Glacius got picked up. So it's safe to say HBX coming out on top there.
Definitely, and at least they're actually looking to get aggressive, looking to take team fights. With the Pebbles portal key, this is the key hero in the draft, because he sets up everything for him. Like obviously HBX, they want to take teams, they want to start pushing, and the portal key from Pebbles allows them to do this because they have that catchment, they have that burst. As we saw there, like, they instantly killed the Hotmaster even though he's got investments. And unfortunately though, they got a hero kill, then they weren't able to get any more because they weren't able to take that objective. And I think it just goes back to the Light Brand and Dr. Repulsor as well, just a little bit weak, isn't able to have a big presence in the team fights. Kraken as well, like very, very important.
It's a dead Glacius most likely. One more. Okay, there we go. He's using the lift through the freeze right there. So
Foxy Onslaught, like he went 0-2-0 and now he's 6-2. Like, I don't know, man.
6-0-0 since then. So the flash sale right there, because of Devo and Flux games last game, with both those heroes on flash sale, were 25% I think it was for the next 30 minutes. So check it out, guys. Get your avatars in game. Yeah. 15.5 minutes in. Here to game number 3. Again, this is for a chance to go to the grand finals later on tonight and try to claim the title of world champion. And right now, BMG has some momentum, looking fairly strong early on. The Hellflower now follow-up from Puppet Master, so actually is passing up the Assassin. Not often do we see that nowadays from Puppet Master.
I can understand it though, because like I said, the draft and the strategy here from HBX, group up and push. I mean, if they're grouping up and pushing, then you're not going to get too much value out of the Assassin Shroud. You're not going to find a lot of solo hero kills. And because of that, they just want to have something to do with the Dr. Repulsor right now. And as he doesn't have Nullstone, as he does not have like Icon or Shrunken, you know, the Hellflower is going to get so much value because he will jump in, use Hellflower, and then he's just going to die. He's not going to be able to do anything in the team fight. And that's why the Hellflower is, I actually like it here a lot. There's not a lot of games where, you know, passing on the Assassin Shroud is a good option, but in this one, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Bottom lane, Field Rot once again coming out right here from Bad Monkey Gaming. Gonna look for an opportunity. You do see Ophelia amongst everyone else kind of falling back though, so again, something kind of giving it away. Double damage rune will be picked up by Pebbles. You know, something I'm noticing. Oh, he does have a bottle. Okay.
Oh, Ophelia.
But Ophelia's in a lot of trouble right now. Stasis Smash comes out. The Fisher's done. Dead Ophelia right there. Using a lot, but Pebbles comes in with a double damage rune and now Kinesis. Look at those auto attacks, man. Double damage Pebbles. That is a scary sight indeed. And they get a counter kill. So another case of, well, at least HBX, they do that. And Pebbles, speaking of his impact, is strong here. Gonna try to maybe go for Behemoth. Yeah, Behemoth, that Fisher's done. Could have cost him, but it's gonna be fine. They'll get the tower kill though. Jeez, it's so freaking hard. They're at 77 max damage at this point. Pretty damn strong. Doctor is also 400 gold per minute, so I mean he's going light brand. So we'll see how it scales from there here.
Yeah, I mean I probably assume I mean, Nullstone would be decent, particularly as how early of a Hellflower that Puppet Master is going to go for, but he's not going to have the farm to go Grimmer than Nullstone before the more impactful team fights start coming online. So perhaps he'll just go Shrunken after that, maybe just into an Icon. But I mean, if he goes Icon after Grimmer, it just kind of counter synergy. It just seems a little bit strange. Either you go Grimmer or you go Icon. You don't go both.
Yeah. Dr. Repulsor roaming around, 2,400 gold saved up, so again, he bought the Blizzard up, then I guess he sold it. Just waiting to get in total. He's going to be ported back to base right here after finishing off the last couple of creeps, and I'm going to right-click the Grimoire, I'm sure. So, or no, he buys a Mighty Blade. Okay, so changing it up.
So you're going to go straight Shrunken.
So why get the Light Brand then?
Again, it just, whoa.
Or Eventual. But, okay,
oh, it is the recipe. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, again, I mean, Light Brand gives him a little bit of mana regeneration, gives him farming, but again, like, if you want mana regeneration, then you just go Icon Shrunken instead of Light Brand Shrunken. But maybe just a little bit, like, this to me shows a little bit indecision, whether for himself or from the captain, not really 100% sure how to play this lineup, or what they want to accomplish in this game. But regardless, I think Shrunken Head is going to be a good pickup, because at least he can Shrunken Head and then jump in with his ulti, and that's going to stop any kind of initiation, any kind of kinesis, any kind of Hellflower, and go from there.
Dang, very close in the polls right there for the community. 53% I think it was for BMG, only 46 or 47% for HBX, so very, very close, fans on both sides. Understandable with the way the series has been going, definitely. So, but right now, again, BMG, it's slight though. It's not to get too ahead of ourselves. Like I said, we are seeing some interesting, awkward decisions, almost like the Dr. Pluses we keep going back to. But honestly, again, HBX they are still in a pretty solid spot. Pebbles is 375 gold per minute,
Kinesis.
and can prove to be very, very scary. And speaking of that, there's a jump with the Portal Key Kraken now going into Kinesis. Pebbles here as well. The awkward for Pebbles. He puts the Stalagmites on to the background TPs, and Kraken will be picked off. Pebbles? Nope,
nice.
He's going to get caught too. Beautiful turn from BMG. They were all ready to port in, and that's what happens if so. I got to say, though, Pebbles was also very indecisive there. He went back and forth a couple times, and that ultimately cost him his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. And because, but if he goes on Kinesis, then it probably gets the Kinesis kill and he dies afterwards. But just I think it goes that's a really nice rotation from BMG. Everyone caught it, and because of that, just secures a nice kill. They're not going to be able to get any objectives because top lane wasn't pushed out enough, and it's going to be too risky to go for Congo. But there's still 2 nice kills from BMG.
Yeah. Ophelia kind of pushing in the bottom lane here in the meantime. Nope, never mind. Going to start falling back, but Shrunken Head again is around the corner for Dr. Repulsor now. 650 gold saved up on him. He is looking to finish that up before engaging into more fights, I'm sure. The Master in that Arcana, the second Arcana, ultimately the Hellflower. So the second Arcana. No, he goes to Sassy Trout. Okay. So kind of a change of heart there for Puppet Master, I guess.
Yeah, but it's because I think on paper the Hellflower makes a lot of sense because obviously HBX, their draft, push and team fight. Have HBX been pushing and team fight? They haven't. They've been sort of splitting off and farming because this is what I'd love to see from competitive players. They're all about situational pickups. Like, if HBX were pushing and team fighting, then I think the Hellflower would make a lot more sense. He will probably still go for the Hellflower, but because they're not, they're sitting back and farming, their Siege Troll is going to give them even more value.
Yeah.
And it all depends on how the enemy team is playing. And because of that, yeah, it makes a lot more sense, because now we could find solo pickoffs on absolutely anyone here on the side of the HBX.
Absolutely. 21 minutes in right now. And the lead is the biggest it's ever been so far for BMG, in fact. 5,800 gold lead and 6,500 experience in here at this point. So, finishing off the Ancients here. More farm coming out for them. Puppet Master going to stride around, check to see what's going on, and also just help himself get another place quicker, of course. Astrolabe finished on Ophelia. Again, Trickenet is just about there for Dr. Repulsor. But, they're in a spot, too. We haven't really seen much push from them. And, again, especially when you have an Ophelia on your team, that's usually what you like to go for. And the lineup in general really kind of speaks for a team that's willing to team fight and push and whatnot, but really haven't accomplished that. At this point, Pebbles, he got the portal key. We saw him use it. We've seen him use it a couple times, but 0-1 and 2. So not really the sexiest stat line right there, and something that HBX could definitely work on as far as having a good chance in this game at this point. But finishing off the rest of the Ancients himself, Vildrot in the meantime from BMG. What else is new? As they're going to the bottom lane, to see about catching Doctor. I mean, they used it very early, so there's no way that Doctor or anyone should have a clue that they are coming in right now. And will they capitalize? You see it's so close. Oh, there's the opening right there. The Stasis Smash, the follow-up transfer, the big burst. And Doctor dies.
The Stasis Smash is such a good setup still, because it's almost like a Storm Spirit. Obviously, you can take damage and you can still target while they're even up in the air. Yeah. And that's why it gives such good setup here for the Midas combo. Just nice secure kill.
Indeed it is. Double damage rune. Ooh, Pebbles trying to get to it. Fidget Stun comes out, though, and Pebbles will have to pick it up in the end, but it might come to cost here. Mana Sunder comes out. Big burst from Kinesis once again. Glacius does fall. Pebbles locked in as well. The Arcane Vortex. It puts, I believe that was Kraken. Yeah, Kraken's caught in the midst of it as well as Glacius. There's a double tap for Kraken, and Kraken goes down right there in the end. So I had a little bit of hiccup there on my side. But anyways, BMG, very dominating fight, and this is all of a sudden now pretty damn scary for HBX. Tournament lives, grand final chance on the line, and right now BMG looking like they could possibly be in a good situation for that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it just goes back to HBX perhaps just not really playing a strategy they're too confident in playing. And like we talked about the iron pickup, the whole play style, and it's really cost them. Obviously BMG have done great, and this is when BMG really have their best games, when they're able to play their own game and just farm and find a lot of kills, and these heroes, they just suit them as well. It just makes a lot of sense.
23.5 minutes in right now. Yeah, again, the lead just continues to grow and grow bigger for Bad Monkey Gaming. The Shrunken Head still doesn't even have it on Doctor. It is being delivered now, though, but again, I feel like he's been in the works for a little bit here, especially when the Light Brand first went up, but now he at least finally has that. But again, it's not necessarily a scaling farming item. It's more so, sure, he can survive, and if he happens to find an engagement, could help him secure a kill, but
you just want to take team fights, obviously, when you pick up the Shrunken Head on the Doctor Repulsor, but the problem is now is that with HBX, they simply just can't group up and team fight. They can't group up and take pushes, and even though the draft sort of wants them to do that, they're 11,000 gold and 12,000 experience behind. If they do that, they're going to just get completely wrecked here from BMG, so they're going to have to play a little bit different, try and find hero kills with perhaps the Pebbles Portal Key and the Doctor Repulsor, and they're going to have to forfeit and concede a lot of objectives when BMG are trying to take them, whether it be Congo or the Tier 1 Tower mid, obviously, like that.
So right there, I believe the Hellfire finished on Puppet. Is Turricanus being delivered? It is. Yeah. So yeah, Hellfire finished on him. Portal Key also picked up. Hard to say much about Boxy's Kinesis. He's got 8 kills and does that 9-0. So
it's ridiculous. Like he was having such a bad time in lane. Like going 0-2-0 in the lane and then coming back like 3 like this score. It just shows,
so basically it's 8-1-4.
Yeah, it just shows him how solid his play style. No, it's 8-1-4 technically, because he went 0-2-0 in the lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, sorry, yeah. So it's just crazy how to see him bounce back like this. It's kind of ridiculous.
Absolutely. So Field Rot again being activated here. This time Behemoth has it in the middle lane, though. There's the jump on a Kinesis, and he goes down. Not much you can do about that. Again, another double damage happens to be on Pebbles.
This is exactly what HBX need to do. They need to find hero kills because they need to make sure that the deficit is at least 5,000 gold before they can try taking team fights. Because if they team fights now, they're just going to get run over by the item advantage here from BMG. So finding hero kills with the Pebbles, with the Kraken, with the Drop Pulse is exactly what they need to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So they get the one right there, but it's how they keep that going is obviously the crucial mark at this point. So somebody just got I think it's all like Plated Greaves picked up by somebody, but no one actually has Plated Greaves. So maybe I missaw that, or did she? Oh, she did. Yeah. Duh. Okay. Yeah. See, Plated Greaves with the Astrolabe as well as the Ring of Sorcery here. So. Oh, you see Mora's trying to scout out. Actually, he's going to have a double damage rune spawn right here, but I don't know if it's Puppet Master's going to risk picking it up or not. Could be pretty scary if he does. Well, Behemoth says, I got it, don't worry. He bottles it up and going to possibly hand it off to Baltazar here. Looks like, yeah, they're trying to make that happen and maybe go for a Congo kill. That's exactly what they're going to go for now. Behemoth, he ain't stealthed, and I'm pretty sure he was seen.
Yeah, it was a vision. I was checking. He was a vision. Puppet Master wasn't, though, so I think they have no idea.
Yeah, Behemoth didn't actually go in the pit. He kind of went out, so.
Yeah, and also with the DD as well as the Whispering Helm, there's no way that Puppet Master's going to take this Congo. They could just sit behind him. I don't think HBX even realised this is going on. They're going to try and find a kill on Kraken out top. Even if they kill him, it's going to be worth it from BMG, though.
Yeah. And that's not going to happen, it looks like. Kraken playing defensive enough. Yeah, by the way, we haven't mentioned too much of him, but 429 gold per minute. Jeez, he's actually the second highest farmer in the game behind his teammate Puppet Master. You see right there, Kraken, the hero. Good by Neversay here. It's not good when you don't have at least a solid farm. As the stats point out, Kinesis! Ooh, nice disjoint on the Skeleton Net. Gets away before the turn happens, so scouting out with that build Rop. But now you got a Token of Life on Puppet Master. Looks like a Sheepstick is actually just about finished as well by MiTH. Jeez, so yeah, using that farm big time.
He's really, really farmed, actually. It's because there's been so much space created from all, and just HBX have been sort of bit passive, really. It gives MiTH a lot of space. The Sheepstick can do a lot of work, though, particularly against the Doctor Propulsion and their Pebbles. And that's just all the damage really coming out from. Like Kraken is more kind of locked down. The Glacius is just kind of locked down. Then the Ophelia is more the heals with the Astrolabe and his Ophelia's Touch. And it's the damage that's coming out from Doctor Pulsar and Pebbles. They take that away then with the Sheepstick. Then the team fight from HBX is going to be very, very minimal.
A lot of roaming around together here for both sides, HBX especially, though. And again, I keep looking back at this Doctor Pulsar. Expect to see an item progression, but really not a whole lot. It's got the shrunken head, but another 1,800 gold saved up at least. I mean, I assume he's still going to finish the Grimoire. You already committed to a light brand.
Yeah, no.
It'd be kind of silly to change that now.
Yeah, light brand by itself, it just kind of gives you a bit of mana regeneration and farming speed, which you don't need at this point. So Grimoire would make a lot more sense. Puppet Master's actually waiting for someone to come up here top lane.
Yeah.
They might take the bait.
Nice. Well, he's not going to go for it. He has to try to war off and cool down.
He might go back up. No, too late.
Will farm instead. He still has 3.5 minutes on the token, so plenty of time for BMG to still make use of that.
I think they should definitely try and use it. Like, they're still out of towers on the board, so take them out and then perhaps maybe wait for another Conga and then go high ground if they want to make sure that they get into the finals.
Yeah. A lot of build route once again for BMG. Kind of going a couple directions. They decided to go towards the middle lane. Maybe spotting HBX over here, and this actually could work out pretty well. Kinesis on the uphill. Yeah, they're going to have a big advantage. Kinesis jumps in with the safe spot, give him the vision, and MiTH also Sheepstick on a Pebbles in the background, trying to lock down, and big burst. They get the kill on a Glacius. That's kind of, he was just standing by, and he gets killed. They do pick up Pebbles. Kraken goes down, and Bad Monkey Gaming at 3-0 exchange in that fight. 16,000 gold lead, 19,000 experience lead. I don't know, man. I think BMG could be on the verge of looking to get to the grand finals here at this rate.
First land, first finals, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows, really? I don't think that's ever been done. I know no one's done that first land and first one. I don't know about finals.
I don't know. I mean, but on top of that, too, again, this is a team BMG that they didn't even take a cycle in On Tour Season 3.
Yeah, and they come up to the land. Maybe they're just land beasts, man. I'm not 100% sure.
We underestimated these guys.
Definitely.
You know, I will say the Super KG made a point yesterday. The BMG team last year that he was on, they went undefeated in the group stages, and then they got to the grand finals and they lost in the grand finals. So maybe a little bit of
who knows? Who knows?
There, I guess,
but I think it's kind of important to know though, is that BMG, from what I could see, from what I could tell from scrims, from what I could tell just from personality and mentality, is that they were, I don't know, I think they weren't almost experienced enough to really be able to cope with the pressure and with the stress of really playing on the grand stage. But clearly they're showing it here, and it's working out for them.
Absolutely. We got Congar, or Morrison, I was going to say Congar's dead, so I was checking right there. But Puppet Master, again, the token still has 1.5 minutes remaining. So yeah, they did that with the token. Still plenty of time remaining. They're going to still be able to group up and go for a push. Fusen getting some information with that Ephemeral Forge of his, and goes in the middle lane with it. But it looks like I would expect them to possibly go for the bottom lane push here. And that is what we are seeing. So Dr. Repulsor, again, the Grimoire is basically there, so we'll have it into this next fight most likely. But you know, again, is that like, oh, he has Grimoire power now? We're scared. No, not really. It's in a Wretched Hag. Yeah. They're so popular back in the day. Because yeah, he doesn't. I know that's brought up in the past when it was more of a popular one. We saw Hag more. That Doctor, him going to Grimoire is that really good. And the idea with Doctor, all his skills are all like they're not at big enough damage. Or Wretched Hag at least has the Bat Blast,
Blast,
the big burst damage in AOE that it amplifies it even more because of the 50%. So
yeah, it's more of a farming item, particularly on Doctor. I mean, it's a farming item in general, but particularly more so on the Doctor Pulsar, which like he hasn't been able to farm because he's not really supposed to farm with this lineup, with this draft. Yeah. So again, it just goes back to perhaps them misunderstanding their draft. And it looks like BMG are going to push in here though.
That they are in the bottom lane, doing some work, and the tower's now taking some good damage as well. This could be a last time for HBX. Dr. Repulsor goes in on I'm all over the place, man. Puppet Master, he is going to be fine, though. He still has 10 seconds. I was going to say he almost wanted to maybe just die at that point, but with him being so low and the token about to wear out, they're going to fall back, actually. So, hey, the Dr. Ophelia strategy does work right there.
This is so obnoxious, though, like, because there's the only way you can counter is if you pick up a Nullfire Blade.
Yep.
And there's no one really in the works for Nullfire Blade, let alone anyone who's like a natural Nullfire Blade carry. I'm pretty sure Kraken will go for one, though. I've talked to BMG before, and they hate whenever like they're going against Dr. Pulsar or Ophelia, because it's just so hard to push high ground because of this. And it's very, very annoying to do so. So it wouldn't surprise me if Kraken's working towards a Nullfire Blade, and then they can deal with that. They might even try and hide it, hide the facts, and maybe go straight up Nullfire Blade and go from there.
Well, Yeah, especially now that they know that that's what they're thinking. They
definitely.
used it right there, so it's like, okay, let's have to deal with this now.
Yeah, because it's really hard. Like, you saw how much damage Puppet Master took, though. Like, he took a lot of damage, and like that's when he had token. If he doesn't have token, like, he could be in trouble.
Shockwave, Doctor Repulsor, the burst for Kinesis want to follow. The mass control stays smashing in the air. Is it up? No, it's not. Ludicrous speed. Oh, Kinesis trying to follow. He got frozen, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Boxy going a little too far, and Boxy will end up getting killed. Very well played by HBX right there. Great support of their teammate. Again, having him stay alive barely was the big factor there. So it's things like that that are going to keep HBX just enough in this game at this point.
Looks like MiTH is going to go for a Frostwolf score, though. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, we've actually joked about, obviously, perhaps him going like Insanitary instead of Parasite sometimes, obviously, with the transmute. And I think he might be in the mentality and the mindset of, look, you know, I played Flux last game, and on Flux it makes a lot more sense. In this game, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan, really. Like, yeah, he can do a lot of damage, obviously, with the transmute stacks up, but it's okay. But I think the Nullfire Blade the Nullfire Blade and the Doc Repulsor Feeler strat is the reason why they're not winning the game right now.
Yeah.
Like, and so if they get the Nullfire Blade, they can just push high ground, whether they have the token or not, I think. So, but that's fine. He's going to go with that. They're going to probably wait for token as well next game. They do not want to do anything stupid and actually try and lose the game off of such a good start. So.
Yeah. Portal Key just picked up by Moira right there. So Fusion on that main support Moira, able to get the Portal Key. And we've seen Insania especially do a lot of work with that. So Fusion going to do his best support Moira impression here. Arcana picked up on Doctor. So again, he is going to Hellflower now. But it's a matter, I mean, he still needs 2 Arcanas. And with the way they're farming, not really that rapid. So still a bit of ways to go, of course. So, but yeah, you talked about that Frost of Skulls. Hey, he's going to be having it here soon at least. That he's committing to. We'll be able to benefit from the extra attack damage of that transmute, of course, coming out. Puppet Master is looking around once again for a kill himself. He's got Shrunk in now, really good to go. 1,900 more gold saved up. We'll just actually clean up the resources in the Legion jungle in the time being. This is always what proves to be a difficult spot. You know, HBX, sure, it's understandable why they're playing it very safe, but the safer you play, the more behind you're going to get. I mean, it's catch-22, really. So it's something that they're just having to deal with as much as they can. Just get the picks if they find them, as we saw earlier. Moira being annoying.
Yeah. He just gives so much vision, kind of like with that Were Beast Enchanter last game. Just gives them so much vision, gives them allowed to make a lot of different plays. They can farm the enemy jungle now, really restrict wherever they can farm. BMG, they're just going to wait till Congo, though, as I said before. It should probably be up here in the next couple of minutes, and then from there, they'll probably look to go high ground. But again, that Dr. Pulsar Affiliate is going to cause them a lot of problems if they're not careful.
Yeah, that could have been really scary for HBX right there. They were almost acting like they were going to go uphill, and BMG was ready, but something gives them the sense that, you know, maybe this isn't a good idea. And they start falling back.
This Ward of Sight by Signuts actually is really, really solid. Just out of Ward of Revelation range, but it's seeing actually all of BMG right now. So yeah. Oh, they're actually going in. But
that's
the Ophelia, man. Ophelia Doctor Pulsar. Just so frustrating. I can tell you a bit cracking is like, oh, I wish I didn't go to the Frostbrand.
Yeah. Thinking twice now, especially. It is it's not necessary, but it's understandable why you'd want to get it against that combo. So yeah, gonna abuse that. They should. They do have it. Yeah, it's definitely one of the ways that they're gonna stay in this game.
It's a really good synergy in combo. It's just that BMG needs to definitely react to it.
Yeah.
Well, I think Kinesis might be in trouble, by the way. He's really, really aggressive right now. He's nowhere near his team.
Is Kinesis in trouble, or is whoever he finds in trouble?
No, Pebbles and Kraken are right above him. I think they're going to jump him.
Yeah, they don't jump him just yet, and they don't jump him in the end, it looks like. The word is that, oh, they will jump as soon as he goes to the illusion room. Shrunken Head is going to be popped, and the Blitz Kraken on top, so they eventually do get the kill. Just being very patient with it, of course. And down goes Boxy, so again, going to be feeling good about that kill, definitely. But Puppet Master is farming away in the meantime. 536 gold per minute now. And he continues to go to the jungle. 3,100 gold saved up. I would think something like a Savage Mace here next. Probably makes sense for him. Does Doctor have a second Arcana now? I think he might have. So again, he is getting very close too.
Yeah, and good jury actually picked up here from Puppet Master. But Congo is up. They're going to take it now, even with Kinesis dead. They've got so much map control. And they're going to see this ward here placed by Signuts as well. So they're going to take that one out. And with that, there's no way that HBX can really even contest Congo, because without vision, like you'll be jumping in blind with your initiators. And when you're jumping in blind, that's like obviously the worst thing you can ever do. So I think they're going to have to give this up and try and just defend with like the affiliate Dr. Pulsar just in base. And there's still no 5-blade obviously up on BMG.
There goes Doctor. Going in, being annoying. So at least they know what's going on, but...
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice little cute play here from Behemoth. It actually blocks off Kongor, so Public can take it without taking damage.
Yeah, might as well. He's got the life steal and whatnot, but might as well save some damage if you can, as we see right there. So this is going to be the free Kongor kill. Puppet Master going to get the token of life, most likely. Pretty much the only option. And there we go. That's that Genjiro that he just finished. Now the token of life. That's a question of how much will BMG wait here before using this token. Will they just push right away? I mean, the lanes are kind of pushed up already. Maybe not the top lane, but might as well, I would think. And they are going to head towards the bottom lane here.
Oh, Glacius. No, it should be fun.
Yeah. Almost found Glacius, but not able to catch him in time. So MiTH will just counter ward instead using that bound eye of his. And now going to start pushing out the bottom lane a little bit. While the rest of his team is in the middle. Well, at least most of them. Behemoth is down here, giving him some nice support. So, but again, HPX just continues to do the whole, we got to sit in our base, play very safe. We send out Dr. Repulsor with the teleport every once in a while, and that's pretty much it. So
yeah.
The lead just continues to grow for BMG. I mean, they're both in golden experience. So you got to really wonder what HPX's game plan is here in the long run.
I think the game plan is just hope BMG get too aggressive, perhaps like go true, like just go really over full. Because like the only way that I think HPX can get back in is if BMG throw, and that's why BMG are just playing this really safe, really methodically in that respect. And although it's not incredibly exciting or interesting, I mean there's a lot of money on the line, so I'd be doing the same thing if I was in their position as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So MiTH up here, or over here, I should say, actually tanking some Ancients. Gonna finish them off, the double stack. So again, BMG not choosing to really rush the token just yet. 3.5 minutes remaining on it. Instead, Baltazar maybe wants another tier of item. He's gonna go post-haste, yeah. Just got the post-haste right there. So post-haste play now in the works for Puppet Master and BMG. Bound Eye popped right here, seeing if any wards of sight are in the area from MiTH, but as we can tell from the hacks that we have, it's not the case. Dr. Pulsar with the regen rune currently. Flying around, seeing if can maybe get an opportunity here for a kill or just use it to simply farm with.
Kraken of Pebble was actually sitting up top lane. If they can catch someone without buyback, that would kind of they actually portal deeper into the trees now. Behemoth might be in trouble, or maybe even Puppet Master.
Yeah.
They're looking about their portal keys are on cooldown, unfortunately. At the time, I'm pretty sure that if they were off cooldown, they definitely would have went for the Behemoth, but
yeah,
couldn't find it.
So not going to find the opportunity, and again, they're still sitting up here hoping that somebody exposes themselves, but as we see, probably not going to be the case. Unless Puppet Master, he's going back up here, so maybe this patience is going to pay off.
He's got token though as well, but they have to go. They have to try and get something. I mean, with Glacius here as well, I don't see why not.
Oh yeah, might as well at least get the token use. Or not.
Are they that scared?
They are that scared, and now Puppet Master is looking for somebody. Okay, he's gonna go for the TP, and he's gonna get away. I don't know why you're that scared, to be honest. They've obviously figured more was there. I mean, or nearby. They figured maybe, but then like, why are you there in the first place? I don't know.
No, I think like you have to make those kind of plays. Whenever you're behind, you have to go for those riskier plays because that's the only way you're gonna get back into the game. Like playing safe is only gonna make it worse in that respect. Like you play safe at the start, but when times are tough, you just gotta go all in.
Yep. Build Rot once again going to the middle lane. So HPX continues to do the idea of sitting on their base and hoping that something's going to happen. You see the top lane, they're up here, but...
Yeah, I mean, BMG, they kind of have to get a pick off before they can start going high ground because they have no way of really forcing objectives. They don't have any push, they don't have like an Ophelia of their own or like a Keeper or a War Beast, so they have to find pick offs first. And HPX, are like, there's 3 of them top, and the other 2 are just in base.
Yeah, this is, I mean, they've literally been spending a minute up here, just AFK almost, a couple minutes, and sure, if it pays off, they get a kill like on Puppet Master in the end, then worth it. But clearly that's not going to happen. And when they had an opportunity, they didn't even take it. So middle lane, was that a free kill? Yeah.
It was just Dr. Pulsar hitting with Ophelia. Like, that's what I mean. Like they need his nullfire blade. Like they've caused some problems like 3 or 4 times already.
At least make him pay for using
like
mana
because
going in there.
That's the only thing that's really causing BMG any kind of problems right now. So nullfire blade should definitely have been in the works. So.
Well, yeah, and with the Frosty Skull instead of talking about on MiTH, he would have possibly been a candidate. But choose to go that route. I mean, they still have you could still get it on MiTH or maybe even the Kinesis at this point, but not having it just yet, so they will have to just deal with it, the DWI factor, against the Ophelia Portback. So Congo, of course, is still going to be dead for a couple more minutes here. We'll see if BMG is just going to wait that out. They're not the ones that need to rush. They're fine playing this pace again, as we keep saying. I mean, they just continue to go up in Golden Experience, so that's never a bad thing, of course. And sure, as a spectator, it may not be the most entertaining over-the-top thing, but when you're here with a lot of money on the line, a title world champion, you're going to do what it takes to get the victory, and that's clearly what BMG's going for here. So 43 minutes in right now, and again, they continue to have their biggest lead, and that just will grow as time goes on. Dr. Repulsor, he is very close now to the Hellflower. He's just slowly but surely been grinding that gold with the Ophelia Portbacks, and he is just about there. So at least we'll have a Hellflower to help with lockdown. Let's say the Puppet Master or whatnot. Early on, he's going to use it again right here with the port. Oh, he found more. Oh, that's brutal, man. That's got to be frustrating if you're Mora there. It's like, what do you do? You can't do anything.
Like, there's not much you can do, unfortunately. Like outside, they don't have no purge except for the Nullfire Blade, so they need that. But I mean, that's 2 kills already to the side of Dr. Repulsor, and they just keep on doing it. Like, BMG, they kind of have to find HBX out of base and catch him like 2 or 3 before they can go high ground, as mentioned before. So yeah, HBX can almost keep on doing this until BMG rack up like a ridiculous amount of farm.
44 minutes in right now. You got Puppet Master scouting around. He's going to find the Ancients, of course, and just finish those off instead. So the Hellflower is finished off on Dr. Repulsor. It's like if they're not going to change their game plan, though, it's, what's really going to happen here? Something tells me this is a strap pause. See, they paused, they took their headphones off, to talk with one another and pretty much kind of go over what's going on here. Is MiTH Hybrid, knowing that they're on the verge of being knocked out into the 3rd place match. Want to make sure that they're all on the same page.
Yeah, I mean their tournament lives are actually on the line, obviously, and seeing as they are they're the ones that obviously took out Sync. They're the home crowd on their home turf. They want to be going to the grand finals. Like, I mean, imagine like HBX versus Ace Dog grand finals. Like, it would be insane. So yeah, anything they could do to try and get back into it would mean a lot.
All right, it looks like they are going to be good to go as MiTH and BMG as well. So continue on.
Let's get it on.
Again, Kongor has got to be spawning here shortly. BMG will very likely just go do that pretty quickly, and I don't see them stopping it. Yeah, Pebbles has not been having a good game. Is basically what that stat line says. And when he doesn't have a good game, teams usually don't do well. He is a hero that you really do rely on to have an effective start and especially, do well throughout the game. So
Doctor Sage's got a Nullstone, so that, like, even a Nullfire Blade isn't actually, they're going to need 2 Nullfire Blades or have insane reactions.
So now there's
at
least they didn't go the Nullfire really now initially. So now they just don't even need it. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's just not even worry about it.
But like, you know how hard it is to push into Dr. Repulsor doing this strategy? It's incredibly hard. No, seeing as like they have no push anyway, the only way they can find hero kills is if they just find like 2 or 3 outside of base, because this Dr. Repulsor is going to be so frustrating, so annoying to deal with. Like, and yeah, so my actually goes like looks to go to the breastplate instead of the Nullfire Blade, which makes sense because even with the Nullfire Blade, you're not going to have the ability to purge it off twice, or get rid of the Nullstone and then get rid of the Ophelia's W as well.
Kongor, no, I thought he was up, but nope, not just yet. Checking out the area though, at least, going to do some counter warding, making sure in case there is any wards nearby that would give him enough vision. Dr. Repulsor jumps in the middle lane. He's going to go for a kill, but
look how much damage he does, though.
Yeah, that's like, and he's pretty much good to go. He doesn't need to worry.
Like, if he has his team with him as well, like, it's a lot of damage, a lot of damage. I mean, it's not game-changing, but it's going to stop BMG from trying to push into the bases for sure.
Maybe that has a lot to do with the strategy here from the draft in the first place from HBX. Like, they're not the most comfortable with either the players or the team as far as like knowing when to push and knowing how to work. But they figured, you know what? It's a great synergy with Dr. Repulsor. Let's go ahead and take advantage of it. So, I wonder if that was perhaps in the process.
But then like going like Crack and Pebbles is just a little bit strange as well. Like Dr. Repulsor's not going to be able to carry into the late game. And obviously, if they're not going to push, then you kind of have to scale well into the late game, and they kind of just don't really. Like, Dr. Pulse is not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with a Puppet Master with full carry 8% because his passive is just nowhere near as good as Whiplash in the late game.
Yeah, Kraken and Pebbles up here, they're back to their home here. They love these trees, man. There's something about these trees, the center. I don't know, there's some critters that are friends that they're just sitting up here, playing the waiting game. And it's almost like BMG just knows that that's what they've been doing, so they're just not going up there. They're just so stubborn, they want to keep doing it, want to keep trying it. But
well, I mean, I think it pretty makes sense though. Like, if say Pebbles and Kraken were farming, like what would they get? Pebbles already has Shrunken Head. I mean, maybe Kraken keep on farming, maybe try and get his Shrunken Head. But if they can find one hero without buyback and then they push in, like they're gonna take racks almost because of the amount of push they have with the Ophelia. So I think it's definitely worth the wait. Finding someone without buyback would be huge. So
yeah. So MiTH is gonna push out the top lane, but again, he has support nearby. So if you're Pebbles, it's like still they waited this whole time up here. Now they're just falling back.
Yeah, they can't kill MiTH
as soon as somebody comes in. Yeah. So tower is denied from boxing.
It's definitely worth the chance to, like, imagine if they kill Puppet Master without buyback. Like HBX 5v4, they have the ability to push. They could potentially even get racked. So definitely, I like the strategy here from HBX.
Yeah, Phil Rott from HBX actually. They're going back to their home. Kraken and Pebbles heading up towards the top lane. Conqueror's up now. So again, I'm sure BMG is gonna keep track of that, and they already are heading over. It looks like gonna get the Conqueror kill, and I think this would be a third one if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it'd be Venom as well.
This game, so third Conqueror kill, and similar rage by the way on Puppet Master. I don't know if we mentioned that, but he did go that route there, upgrading the Whispering Elm, and now has room for something like a Savage Mace here to finish it off.
Yeah, oh my god, more than he does again. That combo.
So a good scouting tool definitely from Dr. Pulsar, but I still think BMG is probably pretty confident that they can do this.
Yeah, definitely. There's no way that HBX can take a fight out of base. There's just no way.
Kongor. See, using the telekinetic lift right there to take out the Skeleton King. Trying to use it as vision, but unsuccessful in the end. Doctor flies in, and Puppet Master takes some good damage right there. So, yeah, the fact that he's even able to get to here before he actually gets ported back is pretty crazy. It is just far enough, though.
Just good timing here from HBX.
Yeah. So Kongor is going to fall. I mean, they're heading over, but it's like, yeah, you're going to be here too late anyways. And by the time they do get even close, it's already slain. So Demonic Breastplate finished in full on MiTH. Puppet Master, ooh, MiTH is found, but nope, not nearly enough damage there. MiTH a little too tanky. You got, safe to say, Mortar, as we've seen several times, and maybe Kinesis are the targets that Doctor would want to go for. For trying that out here, but they're just spamming this, man. Literally just spamming this ability. The Ophelia port back and the Dr. Pulsar going. There's the Hellfire. He didn't have a Hellfire? Oh yeah, he went the Nullstone, that's right. Wait.
Yeah, he went Nullstone instead of Hellfire, remember?
That's right.
But he's going to start going Hellfire now, so that's going to give him perhaps something there to go from. Because like now when he jumps in, like Hellflower on, say, the Puppet Master with any kind of follow-up, or he comes Dr. Pulsar again, going to slow down their push. But just keep on doing it, then how do BMG push in? They have no push.
Yeah, this is really a tough spot, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
that's why I mean, they need this Nullfire block, obviously with Thingy as well. Like, it kills the whole creep wave. It kills Moira. Like, they simply can't team fight into it, or they can't push into it. It's too strong, really too strong, well too hard. Like unless BMG just want to like start banging onto the racks without any creep wave, but then they're going to be taking so much damage from the Dr. Pulsar anyway.
Yeah.
It's just really annoying. Like, it's so obnoxious. There's kind of nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Unless two people have Nullfire Blades, and then you instantly do it on both. So one to take out the Nullstone, one to take out obviously the Ophelia's Judgment.
Mr. Sun's using that ludicrous speed a little too much, it looks like. Got timed out right here, so just a quick PC fix, and should be good to go. But definitely, there's not much more else to say. I mean, we've kind of been saying the same thing now for
what else
a bit here.
Going about?
It's HBX just simply refusing to not only give up, but they're sticking to their guns of just sitting in the base. I mean, BMG again, they're the ones doing the smart play themselves. They're not throwing themselves at HPX, which is what clearly they want, and they just continue to grow in the lead. So sure, they're not able to push, but the items are eventually just going to overtake the Legion team, you would think.
Yeah, but that's probably about another 20 minutes because they'll probably have to get 6 slot on everyone, and that will probably take about 20 minutes. So.
What is that noise? There's something. One of these avatars like leaving in the timeout. They're like some ringing noise. Somewhere around here. Anyways, yeah. So figure out what the issue is. You can see on the camera right there. It looks like they're sitting down. So, like I said, maybe just going to be reconnecting in here shortly. But again, a reminder, guys. This is the first of the 2 semifinals. The next one will be starting after this, of course, pretty much right after, from my understanding. We'll do some player interviews first, and then go into our next semifinal match. That'll be casted by Beef and Swinnemelons, of course, and that'll be between
DCS.
No. MRR versus Acer Dog.
There we go. That's what I meant.
Not
DCS
matchup there. Yeah, you see both the players or both teams kind of sitting there and waiting to continue to go. Baltazar's ready, man, making sure his keys still work. This main stage, though, it's pretty. I mean, again, it's just getting more and more packed as the day goes on. Obviously, there was actually a big storm today. Early in the day, they've got
people were still lining up outside as well, though, which is kind of ridiculous.
They don't care.
They're like, yeah, it's only just rain. They want to see some home, you know.
Exactly. So, from my understanding, to clarify, I think the second semifinals won't be on the main stage, though. Unfortunately, it's too much of a. There's other things going on, and so not going to be on the main stage, but it will obviously be played. It will still covered in everything. So really, in that sense, not missing out on much here as far as coverage goes. But and then the grand finals will then be on the main stage. Again, grand finals is best out of 5, guys. It is a straight up best of 5 matchup coming at you. So that's obviously something to look forward to in the end.
Baltasar biceps, man.
Yes, he's obviously flexing.
He's tensing.
He knows he's on camera. Man. He's like, I'm just
don't mind me, just
chilling, just showing off my arms here.
Oh,
don't
man,
mind me.
Baltasar.
Working out, man. I will say, I was went to the gym a couple of mornings here at the hotel. You know who I saw both times was Flensmeister. He's
Dennis is big, man.
Yeah, Dennis is
pretty hench.
It's not somebody you want to get a fight with.
He lifts, man.
He's the carry after all.
He's the carry.
That is true.
Didn't carry hard enough, though.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. That's brutal, man. That is brutal. Best of ones, man. It's brutal format, and like we were talking about that when I was interviewing Insane. It's a tough format for the top teams, to be fair. It's that's so much better for the underdog teams and maybe the lesser known. And I think you can argue that Sync is still the best team overall here, but hey, they lost yesterday. They didn't advance on, and the results are what matters in the end. So.
It's true. Like you have to perform on the lens like this, and if you don't, then it's your own fault, really, in that respect. No, I do agree in terms of skill and strategy. They probably are the best team, but doesn't matter in the end. Man, they were so confident as well, though. Yeah,
I mean, hell, you figure it's understandable.
Yeah, but I remember they were like saying, "Oh yeah, when we win the grand finals, we'll do this X, Y, and Z." Gotta get there first.
Gotta get there and then even win it first. So. Yep, in the end, that is what it is. So, anyways, back to this game, though. It looks like we are continuing on. Expect to see the Dr. Repulsor. There we go. He flies in. He gets the Behemoth, actually. Goes at a Hellflower there, toying with him. But, again, Puppet Master has a massive lifesteal, so he's not too concerned about it. Going to continue to go in. I wonder if BMG really is going to try to really commit to this here. Or now there's another port back. Catches Behemoth. Behemoth is almost dead.
The Bowser's like, man, I'm just
he's like, I don't care, man. I got heal. I'm fine. Now, if he catches Behemoth again, okay, pop the health potion.
I bet they just have they're just Korean health potions. It's something where they can really deal with it, I guess.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, if anything, just bring a lot of health potions with you, because that's probably in a sense kind of a counter too. I mean, sure, it doesn't really help with the push, but
it doesn't help with the push.
Look at this creeper, jeez. That's a big one. Here we go, though. Doctor flying in and catches Puppet. Actually doing some great damage right there.
It's nothing you can do. That's why it's so obnoxious. There's no counterplay. It was like It was when like Kronos was like broken, when there was literally no camp play before he was obviously nerfed, and it's the same thing here.
Oh, he popped a symbol of rage, so he doesn't have that right here. They know that they're gonna go in. Here we go, Pebbles in the mid. Pebbles, bits bursting down by Kinesis. Down goes Puppet Master. The release Kraken on top of him. He comes back up though, of course, with the token of life. Mora with the Arcane Vortex. They catch Kraken in the background. Dr. Repulsor, he's still alive, but he's going back to the well right here. He's gonna be ported back once again. Gonna do what they can, but big fight for BMG. They do break through in the end. A 3-for-0 exchange. They're going to get the melee reaction. They say, you got your Dr. Ophelia combo. Well, we got our ultimate team strength here and the item advantage like I was talking about.
I mean, I guess it was just eventually going to happen by HPX, but they did not need to really jump in and do that, because when they did jump in, obviously that's what BMG wanted to have. They just wanted to have some way of actually starting a team fight, and HPX obviously just allowed them to do that. But I guess, I mean, Power Master was banging on the racks anyway, so they had to do something.
I think that's going to be it. I mean, again, maybe they won't concede just yet, but it's BMG has this. This is going to be a BMG in the grand finals, no doubt. And they will take the series 2-1. So big congratulations for them. That's got to feel so good, especially knowing they lost the first game. And then on top of that, they actually there's a lot of talk about them again coming to this. Were they going to be ready for this land? Was that going to be a factor? And even leading the days before the event, we're talking about how they just seemed a little uncomfortable, not like themselves, but they clearly came here to play, and it's not going to be mega creeps, but it's damn close, and already with just such a significant and massive lead. Again, it's just, you really feel they have it. But HBX is, they want to stay in there.
Man,
they're on the stage, damn it.
Yeah, the entire teams don't concede though. Like, they just don't concede. They don't feel any embarrassment or humiliation.
Pad those stats.
But one thing to be noted though, like if this is me, like if this is my home crowd,
yeah,
I want to concede as quick as possible. Like you're out there, like with this kind of number, like 40,000 behind 40,000, and you're like in front of your home crowd, you already know you're kind of going to lose this game. Like, why would you prolong the embarrassment? Like,
yeah,
their decision at the end of the day, but it just seems strange, particularly when you're in front of your home turf, your home crowd.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think it's safe to say BMG, they know they have just this massive lead, going to regroup, get their next tier of items, and then really try to finish it officially. We'll probably see. I mean, you got a Restoration Stone now in Behemoth, things like that. The Savage Mace, of course. Puppet Master already another 3,200 gold to spell stage up, 1,700 gold on Kinesis, and nearly 2,000 on MiTH. So they already started pushing. You just look at the mini-map, too. I mean, just the massive pushes coming in. Obviously, the creep waves doing that part, so it's not mega creeps, but it's just about is, as the range track's top is the only one that remains. So HBX going to be sitting in their base right here, enjoying time just a little bit longer before they get knocked down to the third place match. So again, there's still a reason to compete, and still reason for some good money there, definitely, but no doubt HBX has to be a little disappointed here.
Definitely.
As far as this results. Again, especially on their side of the spectrum, they won the first game, and they were looking pretty strong. So Puppet Master, they jump him, and actually, oh my god, that save. That save was huge. The Arcane Vortex, now he's going to pop the symbol of rage when he comes out, most likely. And B5, the burst in the meantime on a Glacius. Puppet Master, that's the symbol! Oh,
my god.
The symbol of rage. As expected. GG, well played. Bad Monkey Gaming is officially going to the grand finals, and HBX dropping down to the third place match. So congratulations, Bad Monkey Gaming. We got to get shots of them if we can. I don't know if we have shots of them possibly celebrating, but they got to be feeling pretty good about that victory, and again, taking care of business, and they're going to the grand finals, which is going to be later on today, Manny.
Yeah, I mean, like, first LAN, getting into the finals, that's pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie.